My beloved child, I want you to sit with me for a moment and truly listen, because what I am about to share with you is something your heart has been quietly waiting to hear. There are things happening around you right now that you cannot fully see yet. There are conversations taking place in rooms where you are not present. There are words being spoken about you by someone who matters deeply to you, and those words carry more weight than you currently understand. The truth is beginning to move, and it is moving in your direction, and I want you to be ready when it arrives. Your special person is not exactly who you think they are. I do not mean this in a harsh or frightening way. I mean it in the way that people are always more complicated on the inside than they appear on the outside. What you see when you look at them is only the surface. Beneath that surface, there is a world of emotion that they have been working very hard to keep hidden, not from everyone, but specifically from you. And the reason they hide it from you above all others is because you are the one person whose opinion matters to them the most. They have been talking about you. Not in small ways, not in passing comments, but in the kind of conversations where a person reveals more than they intended to. They have been telling people around them that there is something unforgettable about your face. They use the word angelic because they genuinely cannot find a better word to describe what they see when they look at you. It is not just that they find you physically beautiful, although they do. It is something deeper than that, something they struggle to put into a sentence because the feeling it gives them goes beyond ordinary description. When your special person looks at you, they feel something shift inside them. There is a peace that comes over them that they do not experience anywhere else in their life. Your eyes carry something that makes them feel as though you are seeing past all their carefully constructed walls. Your smile does something to their heart that they were not prepared for. The warmth that radiates from you when you are simply being yourself, not trying to impress anyone, not performing for anyone, just existing in your most natural state, that warmth reaches them in places they thought were unreachable. They describe your face as angelic to other people because they are trying to explain a feeling that language was not quite built to contain. When they say your face looks like an angel, they are really saying that being near you makes them feel safe. They are saying that you carry a kind of light that makes the rest of the world feel a little less heavy. They are saying that something about you reminds them of everything good and true and worth believing in. But they cannot say all of that out loud, especially not to you, because saying it out loud would require them to be honest about how deep their feelings have gone. And that is exactly what terrifies them. The secret that your special person is afraid to reveal is not a small thing. It is not a minor preference or a casual admiration. The secret is that they are falling deeply, genuinely, and completely in love with you. Their feelings for you have grown far beyond what they originally expected or planned. When they first noticed you, when they first began to feel the pull of your presence, they told themselves it was nothing serious. They convinced themselves that they could keep a comfortable distance, that they could enjoy your company without becoming attached, that they could remain in control of their emotions while still being near you. They were wrong about all of that. What they did not anticipate was how quickly you would become a permanent resident in their thoughts. They did not expect that ordinary moments with you would become memories they would replay over and over again when they were alone. They did not prepare themselves for the way your kindness would disarm them or the way your laughter would make everything else feel secondary. They did not know that meeting you would quietly rearrange the priorities of their heart. Now they find themselves in a situation they did not choose and do not quite know how to navigate. They are carrying feelings that are too large to ignore and too frightening to confess. Every time they are around you, they have to work very hard to appear casual and unbothered, because the truth is that they are anything but unbothered. Every conversation they have with you requires enormous effort on their part, not because talking to you is difficult, but because talking to you while pretending not to love you is one of the hardest things they have ever done. They remember details about you that you would be surprised to learn they noticed. They remember the specific way you looked at them during a conversation that seemed ordinary to everyone else but felt extraordinary to them. They remember something kind you said that you probably forgot the moment you said it, because kindness comes naturally to you and you do not always track the impact it has on people. They remember your expressions, the subtle changes in your face when you are thinking or listening or feeling something deeply. These memories do not fade for them. They stay vivid and they return often, especially during quiet moments, especially at night when the noise of the day settles and there is nothing left to distract them from the truth of what they feel. They have tried to move past this. They have tried to convince themselves that the feeling is temporary, that it will fade on its own if they give it enough time and enough distance. They have thrown themselves into work, into friendships, into responsibilities, into anything that could occupy the space in their mind that you have taken up. They have maybe even tried spending time with other people, hoping that a new face or a new connection could replace the specific and irreplaceable feeling they associate with you. None of it has worked. Something always brings their thoughts back to you, sometimes a song, sometimes a color, sometimes just the particular quality of light at a certain time of day, and suddenly you are present in their mind again as clearly as if you were standing right in front of them. The reason they are so frightened to tell you the truth is not simple. It is layered and it has history attached to it. Your special person did not arrive at this place in their life without collecting some wounds along the way. There were times in their past when they opened their heart honestly and that honesty was met with disappointment. There were moments when they chose to be vulnerable and the vulnerability was not honored. They learned, the way that many people learn through pain, that protecting their emotions was safer than exposing them. They built walls not because they wanted to keep love out, but because they had been hurt by letting too much love in without proper care. By the time you came into their life, these walls were well established. They had become so accustomed to hiding their deeper feelings that it had started to feel normal. They had learned to speak in half-truths and deflections, to give people just enough of themselves to maintain connection without ever risking real exposure. This system worked reasonably well for a long time. Then you arrived, and everything they had carefully constructed began to shake. You did not do anything dramatic to cause this. You did not challenge them or confront them or try to break through their defenses. You simply showed up as yourself, consistently and genuinely, and that was enough. Your authenticity made their pretending feel exhausting. Your warmth made their coldness feel unnecessary. Your presence reminded them of something they had stopped believing was real, which is the kind of love that comes without conditions, the kind of connection that makes you feel seen rather than simply observed. They saw something in you that made them want to stop pretending. And that desire, that quiet longing to finally be honest, is exactly what scares them the most. Because being honest with you means being completely exposed. It means laying down the armor they have worn for years. It means asking a question and risking an answer that might hurt. It means admitting that they have feelings they cannot control, which to someone who has spent years valuing control, feels almost unbearable. They worry about what you think of them now. They wonder whether their silence and their hesitation have already done damage that cannot be repaired. They ask themselves whether you have moved on, whether your feelings have cooled, whether you have interpreted their distance as indifference when it has never been indifference, not even for a single moment. They are afraid that by the time they find the courage to speak, it might already be too late. But beneath all of that fear, the love keeps growing. It does not shrink because they want it to. It does not become manageable because they try to contain it. It keeps expanding in the quiet corners of their heart, and the pressure of it is becoming harder and harder to bear. My beloved child, I need you to hear what I am about to say very carefully, because it is important and I do not want you to miss it. Their love for you, as real and as deep as it is, does not obligate you to wait indefinitely. Their struggle belongs to them. Their fear is their responsibility to work through. You are a complete person with your own needs, your own timeline, your own life that deserves to move forward. You should never be made to feel that the best you can do is wait in the background while someone else decides whether to be brave enough to choose you. You are not too much. You are not asking for something unreasonable when you want honesty and clarity from someone who matters to you. You are not wrong for needing a love that communicates openly rather than one that keeps you guessing. The confusion you may have felt, the wondering and the uncertainty, none of that is a reflection of your worth. It is simply a reflection of where they are in their own journey. It is worth understanding that your presence in their life has done something genuinely powerful. You have made them want to be better. You have made them question habits and patterns they had accepted as permanent. Just by being yourself, by showing up with your natural kindness and your quiet strength, you have planted seeds in them that are growing toward honesty. You have reminded them that living behind walls is not actually living, it is just a very elaborate form of hiding. That is a beautiful thing. You should know that your energy has impact. The light that other people see in you, the peace, the warmth, the sense of safety, these are not accidents. They are the result of everything you have been through and everything you have chosen to remain despite it. Your face carries the story of someone who has survived difficulty without letting that difficulty define them. Your eyes carry the depth of someone who has felt pain and chosen compassion anyway. These things are visible to the people around you, especially to the person who loves you, and they leave a lasting impression. Now, there are people in your special person's circle who have already noticed how they speak about you. These are friends, maybe family members, people who know them well enough to read between the lines. When your special person mentions your name, something shifts in their expression and in their voice. There is a softness that appears that is not present at other times. Their eyes take on a certain quality. Their words come out a little more carefully, a little more thoughtfully, as if they are handling something precious. The people around them have started asking questions. Why do you talk about this person so much? Do you have feelings for them? Are you going to say something? And your special person responds by laughing it off, by changing the subject, by insisting that it is nothing and you are just a friend or just someone they know. But the people who love them are not convinced, because the evidence is too clear. You do not speak about someone the way they speak about you unless that person has become something significant in your life. Your name has power in their voice and they know it, and that knowledge both delights and frightens them. They are approaching a point where staying silent is becoming more painful than speaking would be. The weight of carrying unexpressed love is heavy, and they have been carrying it for a while now. Every day that passes without honesty is another day of pretending, another day of watching you from a distance while wanting more than distance, another day of conversations with other people where your name almost slips out too easily, too warmly, too completely. There may come a moment, perhaps sooner than you expect, when they choose to speak. Something might shift in them, a conversation they have, something they witness, a moment of clarity that arrives unexpectedly, and they will decide that the fear of losing you completely is greater than the fear of being honest. When that moment comes, they will want to find you and tell you what they have been holding back. They will want to say your name directly to you with all the weight it carries rather than speaking it to everyone except you. I want you to be prepared for that moment, not by planning what to say or rehearsing a response, but by being grounded in who you are. Go into that moment knowing your worth. Go into it without desperation and without bitterness. Go into it as someone who has not been waiting with their life on pause but has been living fully and continuing to grow. That groundedness will serve you better than any script ever could. When they speak, listen. Not only to the words, but to the feeling behind the words. Not only to what they say in that moment, but to how they have behaved over time. Love is not only what people say in big emotional moments. Love is also the consistent small choices they make every single day. It is whether they show up when it is inconvenient. It is whether they respect what you tell them you need. It is whether they are honest even when honesty is uncomfortable. It is whether they choose you not just once but repeatedly, because choosing someone once is easy and choosing them every day requires real commitment. Be careful not to fall so in love with the idea of their confession that you forget to evaluate whether their love is actually something that will be good for you. Beautiful words can be intoxicating. The feeling of being wanted by someone you care about is one of the most powerful feelings that exists. But you deserve more than a person who tells you in a single conversation what they have been hiding. You deserve a person who continues to show you through their actions that their feelings are sincere and sustainable. Give time the respect it deserves. Let things unfold and watch carefully as they do. A person who truly loves you will not only have the courage to confess but will also have the patience to rebuild trust if trust has been eroded. They will understand that feelings, however genuine, need to be supported by consistent and respectful behavior before they can become the foundation of something real. As all of this unfolds around you, I want you to continue living. I want you to continue pursuing the things that bring you joy. I want you to continue healing whatever inside you still needs healing. I want you to continue surrounding yourself with people who already love you clearly and without confusion, people who celebrate you openly and choose you without hesitation. Your life should not be suspended while someone else finds their courage. Your growth should not pause because another person is still working through their fear. There is a season ahead of you where hidden things will become visible. Information that has been kept from you will reach you. Conversations that happened in your absence will find their way back to you. Things that were said quietly behind the warmth of other rooms will step into the light where you can see them clearly. Do not be alarmed by this. Receive the truth calmly and let it settle before you respond to it. Truth that has been hidden for a long time sometimes arrives in surprising ways, and the way it arrives is not always as important as what you do with it once you have it. Remember throughout all of this that your beauty is not limited to your face. The thing that your special person sees when they look at you, the angelic quality they keep describing to other people, it comes from your entire being. It comes from the combination of everything you have survived and everything you have chosen to remain in spite of what you survived. It comes from your compassion for people who do not always deserve it. It comes from the patience you extend even when patience is exhausting. It comes from the strength that lives in you quietly, not the kind of strength that announces itself loudly, but the deep and steady kind that shows up when it is needed and keeps going when everything feels hard. That is why your presence moves people. That is why your face looks like an angel to someone who truly sees you. They are not just responding to your appearance. They are responding to the whole of who you are, and the whole of who you are is genuinely remarkable. You have survived things that could have made you bitter and you chose warmth instead. You have been disappointed by people and you chose to remain open instead of closed. You have walked through seasons of darkness and you chose to keep moving toward light. All of that is written on you in ways that sensitive and honest people can read. Your special person reads it. It is one of the reasons they love you, because your light does not just illuminate your own path. It reaches the people around you and gives them something to see by. Their transformation is happening because of your influence, even if that influence was never intentional. You did not set out to change them. You simply showed up authentically, and your authenticity did what it naturally does, which is reveal what is true and clear away what is not. The parts of them that have been pretending are becoming harder to maintain in your presence. The parts of them that are honest and tender and capable of real love are growing stronger because of what they see in you. But I will say again, their transformation is theirs to complete. You can inspire someone's growth without being responsible for it. You can be a catalyst for change in another person's life without having to wait indefinitely for that change to happen. You have your own growth to tend to. You have your own becoming to attend to. Do not neglect yourself while another person is working through what your presence has stirred in them. The love that belongs in your life will come to you with honesty as its foundation. It will not make you guess whether it is real. It will not leave you to interpret mixed signals and wonder what the silence means. It will not keep you in a constant state of uncertainty while it figures itself out behind closed doors. The love that is truly meant for you will have the courage to face you directly, to speak your name to your face with all the warmth it carries, to say clearly and without shame that you matter and that you are chosen and that there is no desire to hide that fact from anyone. You deserve that kind of love. Not eventually. Not as a reward for enduring confusion long enough. But as a baseline. As the starting point. As the minimum of what real love looks and feels like when it is healthy and honest and whole. Your special person carries deep feelings for you. That is real and it is significant. But what matters going forward is not only the depth of their feelings but what they decide to do with those feelings. Feelings that stay hidden cannot build a relationship. Emotions that live only in private conversations cannot create the kind of connection that sustains two people over time. Love has to move out of the heart and into the world through honesty and action before it can become something you can actually live inside of. Watch for movement. Watch for the moment when their fear begins to yield to their love. Watch for the moment when the courage they have been building quietly finally reaches the surface. And when that moment comes, meet it with open eyes and a settled heart, not with desperation and not with judgment, but with the clarity of someone who knows their worth and is willing to receive love that matches it. My beloved child, you are seen. Every part of you, including the parts you are still learning to love about yourself, is seen and known and valued. The people who belong in your life are being drawn toward you. The truth that has been hidden is working its way toward the light. The love that is meant for you is pressing against the walls that have kept it contained, and those walls are beginning to give way. Trust yourself through this season. Trust the quiet knowing inside you that has always pointed you toward what is real. Trust the peace that comes when you are aligned with your own truth, because that peace is a more reliable guide than any outside voice. And trust that whatever is genuinely meant for your life cannot be kept from you permanently. What belongs to you always finds its way back. Your special person may soon say with their own voice what they have been saying about you to everyone else. And when they do, you will be ready, not because you planned for it, but because you never stopped being grounded in who you are. You never stopped being worthy of the love you are about to receive. And that, more than anything else, is what will make everything that follows possible. You are loved more deeply than you know. You are worthy without having to prove it. And the greatest revelation waiting for you at the end of all of this is not what someone else finally decides to confess, but what you will come to understand completely and without doubt about yourself. You are enough. You have always been enough. And the love that is truly meant for you already knows that, even if it has not yet found the words to say so to your face.